Oh no, the queen. The queen has fallen. Y'all know I got a scoff. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Aruchakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopefully elect tabernacle of David scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I'm sure y'all all seen the news. The elder apostles then did lives, breaking the news. And my few words, in response to it is, hey, see you in captivity. All right. You didn't live a long life. Jake don't never get to live that damn long. And I feel like she probably would have lived longer if they would have restocked on that supply of adrenochrome, that chrome. If they would have restocked on that chrome in time, she probably would have lived longer. But I guess they drunk up all the stash or whatever. But hey man, she lived her life in pseudo fake royalty. All right, because really these are just base individuals. Are these people that you see sitting on that so-called royal throne? All right, they're actually base. They're lower than the low. All right, they were the whole time that they were exalted, they were really low. And that's pursuant to Daniel. All right, how the Lord can actually set up over a kingdom the basis of men. Let's get that in Daniel 4. It is Daniel 4 verse 17. It says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and a demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. And it's been given into the hand of the wicked." That's why they've been on top. That's why they are in all these higher up positions in this current world. All right, the globalists, the super rich elite, all Edomites. All right, those who sat on the throne, the queen, the king, the princes, they all are Edomites. All the royal families, all Esau. All right, so the Lord gave it over to them. All right, it says, "And setteth up over it," Slakia, "and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men." And we know these Edomites, they're the basis of men, lower than the low. But, because the Lord put them in position of power and authority and sitting on all type of wealth, they've always had that higher than mighty attitude. All right, you couldn't even get within arm's reach of the so-called queen. I remember years ago when Michelle Obama, which I'm still trying to debate if that's either Michael or if that's really a Michelle, but it was a big uproar in the media because she touched the queen, so-called queen. It was controversy surrounding that, so they probably took her somewhere and sat her down, and they probably got on her case. All right, but that's what they deem as royalty. That's the queen. You're supposed to approach her with your highness and all this other bullshit. But like Paul Mooney said, man, fuck that. He said, "I'll snatch her purse, man." But they're base, man, and they're gonna really live after that manner of being base and low in the kingdom. That's when they're gonna be in their correct estate. All right, because since they've been in power, they've looked down upon us, like it says in Job the 30th chapter, which that's part of the curse. That we was gonna be brought down low, and that the stranger was gonna get up over us very high. All right, this is Job 30 and verse. I'm gonna just get straight to the point because I can read this the first half of the chapter, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna just get straight to the point. But it's going into with a history of when they were in exile in those caves. All right, and when they were in the cave, they were in their right estate. They were base. They didn't even know how to, speak. They braid. They had to be civilized. They had poor hygiene. And it was the Moors that actually civilized them and sanitized them. We had to clean them up when they was among us. All right, and that's in their history. Then all of a sudden these devils get put into power. Now they're the popes. Now they're the kings and the queens and the princesses and the princes, and so on and so forth. All right, so this is Job 30 and verse 8, and it says, "They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And now I am their song, yea, I am their byword. They abhor me, they flee far from me, and spare not the fit in my face, like it spit in my face." You know, so they all look at Jake, with a sense of superiority. Because the Lord, He's the one that put us down. Or like it says in Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, I have seen servants on horses, and I've seen princes walking on the earth as servants. Matter of fact, let me get it, because I hope I didn't word it wrong. But we're the real royalty, not them devils, man. Ecclesiastes 10, verse 7, it says, "I have seen servants upon horses," which are Edomites. They're lofty on their high up position. They're on their pedestal because they run the world. All right, all your taxes that you've been paying been going overseas to Israel and over there to the king and queen of England. All right, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And we're the princes of the power, Yasha Allah. All right, He is a prince of the power, of the princes of the Most High. But right now we're servants. We serve our enemies. All right, we're getting taxed. We got to work. We're subject to payments. All right, we're yet this day in our captivity. So we got to serve these devils right now. But the Lord's getting ready to flip the script. He's going to turn back our captivity, and we're going to be placed in that position, all right, where the Lord's going to give us power over the nations, and we're going to rule them with a rod of iron. We're going to be sitting upon thrones. Our women are going to be princesses. They're going to be royal, all right? And we ain't going to be drinking blood in our kingdom. We ain't going to have to drink blood, all right, to stay youthful, all right, which means you got to wait on a bunch of babies getting sacrificed and put to death. All right, this is the reason why they had to, push forth that Planned Parenthood agenda to get rid of a lot of babies. So you already know what they do with it. All right, they had to keep that chrome coming so that they can, stay alive longer and longer. All right, in the kingdom we're gonna live forever, everlasting life. Our days are gonna be innumerable. We're going to have true immortality. All right. As far as we know. All right. If you're not a part of the nation of Israel, you're not going to be under that new covenant. Then guess what? You're going to still remain mortal. You're going to die. OK. But we're going to be immortal. All right. So the queen, she's not immortal. All right. That's why she went up to the spiritual realm. And, we could read second. It's like, let me get Ecclesiastes, because we know where she went. She went back before the Father. She ain't in hell, a place where you burn forever, like these Christians teach. All right, that's all Cartoon Network. That's Walt Disney. All right. Once she gave up the ghost, Ecclesiastes 12:7, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. So her spirit is returned back to the Heavenly Father. All right. And there she's chilling for a little bit. All right, let's get was that Job 3? And she just awaiting her time back on the earth. All right, where she's gonna play out her judgment, which is she's gonna come back and she's gonna continue to be an Edomite. And she's going to be up under the curse. All right, we're going to get that after I read this. Job 3 and I'll start at 11. It says, why died I? This is Job speaking. You know, he's speaking out of anguish, of course. Why did I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept. Then had I been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes, all right, that had gold, who filled their houses with silver. All right, you had that devil, Prince Philip, that died last year, or which was the husband, I believe. All right, and I remember on the cover of the Daily News, they had him on the left side, and it said, you know, the royal prince going at age 99, all right, and it has him as the prince, and then to the right you had DMX, and it just said the rapper. All right, brilliant but troubled musician dies at the age of 50. So you saw the difference in how they described it too. Like the prince, you know, he was so beloved and so, you know, he was such a saint. He was such a, you know, but they down, you know, but you saw how they describe DMX, you know, that devil, he was nothing but another racist eugenicist. He said that he wished that he could come back as a I think it was him that said he wished that he can come back as a plague or something like that, and kill off the population, because they all about blood. They all about blood being spilt. They all about bloodshed, man. All right. It says that they will not even be satisfied with blood. All right. They was all about missing children, sex traffic, all that stuff, man. Child sacrifices. And they were involved in some of these cases, but was let off the hook due to their, you know, their status. They was involved with the whole Jeff Epstein Island thing. So the hell with them. That's why in the kingdom, they ain't gonna escape nothing. They gonna come back and we gonna put it on them. All right. But let me finish this, because I want to get to the point. You know, because basically to show that in the spiritual realm, everybody's there and everybody's resting. All right. It says, or as unhidden, untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light, like a stillborn baby. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. You know, so when Jake dies, he's released, man. So it's really when someone dies, you really should be happy for them instead of sad, because, you know, they're free, especially if you're a Jake. Because when we come here on the earth as Israelites, curse shall you be in the city, curse shall you be in the field. You got curses that you got to deal with. So once you die, you actually are temporarily released from the curse, and you get the rest from it all, man. You know. But guess what? When the Lord flips everything, they're gonna be the ones that's gonna be born into a curse. We're gonna be born into blessings. So let's get real quick Deuteronomy. Matter of fact, before I even get that, let me go to the Apocrypha, and let's get Sirach, the 41st chapter. And the same thing applied to Prince Philip. Same thing applied to David Rockefeller when he passed. This is what's going to happen with them once they die. This is Sirach 41, and I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, the children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. And Esau, he's the ungodly. It says, the inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake. You know, all the wickedness that their forefathers done, and they benefited from it, That's why they're reproached for it. All right. And the Lord's going to hold them accountable. All right. Like it says in Isaiah 14:21, prepare a slaughter for his children. All right. Prepare a slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Okay. They're going to pay. They're not going to, just because they die doesn't mean that they're not going to come back. You're reincarnated. All right. It says, woe be unto you, ungodly men. All right. And in their case, these are the ungodly that prosper in the world. When you read Psalms, the 73rd chapter, David was talking about how he was envious of the foolish, the prosperity of the wicked. Yeah, man. They have all that a heart could wish. They were not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued. All right, that's how they had it. All right. But really, the Rothschilds is like, when you think about Psalms, the 73rd chapter, you really think about the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, the ones at the major top. Because even though the Queen and them, they was in position, but they were low level. They ain't on the level of the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds can come right, can touch them, can smack them upside the head. They could do all that. They're over the Queen and the King. Okay. But for all of them in general, all right, it says, which have forsaken the law of the Most High God, for if you increase, it shall be to your destruction. And if you be, and like all the riches that they hoarded up for themselves, hey, like read James the 5th chapter. How you rich men? They're gonna vomit it all up. It's all for their own destruction. All right. It says, and if you be born, you shall be born to a curse. And if you die, a curse shall be your portion. All right. So you're going to be born to a curse. All right. And let's get Deuteronomy 30 and 7. So they're going to, the curses that was on us, it's going to be on them in our kingdom. All right. Deuteronomy 30 and 7, it says, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. All right. And it's going to go on Esau, and it's going to go on these other nations. All right. And they're going to be like unto us. All right. They're going to be the tail. We're going to be the heads. Okay. They're going to have the sorrow of mine. Let's get, was that Lamentation 3 and 64. And it says, render unto them a recompense, O Yahweh, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the earth. All right. So the Lord's going to give them a sorrow of heart, because in the kingdom, their mind ain't going to be able to rest, because that's how much they're going to be getting their head kicked in. All right. Because we're going to rule them with a rod of iron, man. We're going to be stern and hard on them like they was hard on us. Okay. Let me get the first chapter. The scriptures say that, we're going to render unto them double. You see? Lamentations 1 and 21 and 22, it says, they have heard that I sighed, there is none to comfort me. All mine enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. All right, they're going to suffer the curse just like we had to. Let all the wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me, for all my transgressions. For my sighs are many, and my heart is faint. All right, meaning the Lord poured upon us the curses because we all transgressed. Okay, just being at the bottom, or not being reckoned among the nations. Okay, having the sorrow of mind, not having full assurance of our life. Hoping to get day to day. Looking over our shoulder, worrying about the enemy, oppression, being extorted, being defrauded. All right. Which we ain't going to defraud nobody in our kingdom. Everything is going to be balanced and righteous. But we definitely going to put hell on them, man. All right. The Lord said, he said he will bring vengeance upon Edom by the hand of his people Israel. And they're gonna perform the vengeance according to his anger and his fury. So we don't know how the Lord, how man, all I can say is, you know, just these devils gonna have to just, hey, live it out, max out. All right, and if you go back to the spiritual realm, hey, you just waiting, you just waiting on it. All right, let me get the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, because that's also symbolic. You know, because the way we had it, you know, we were the poor, we were considered the beggars of society. We got to go to our enemies for the one of all things, but we still have to end up paying tribute to these devils, man. We've been paying tribute to that blood drinking lizard, all right, for all this time. And we said it when they had that whole little jubilee ceremony. We already said, man, that she ain't got a lot of time left. We already knew she was getting ready to go. They was flying them planes over her. They did that little ritual with the tree. You know what I'm saying? And them chariots flew by, and we already knew that was a straight up that was a omen. All right, they probably marked her. So now she's gone. So now this is what's gonna happen when she lifts up her eyes in our kingdom. This is Luke 16. And I'm going to just read down. Luke 16 and 19, it says, there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. All right. You dressed in a royal apparel. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus who was laid at his gate full of sores. All right. And you read in Isaiah the first chapter, it talks about how the whole head is sick, you know, and you know, we're faint. You know, there's a bunch of putrefying sores and wounds and bruises. That's Israel, man. Been through captivity after captivity, man. And really, you know, we suffered it because, you know, of course, we got to hold ourselves accountable. We sinned. We went off. All right. So the Lord put us in these conditions. All right, so you see this nation of people full of sores, all right, full of bruises, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs that fell from the rich man's table. In other words, we got to go to our enemies for the one of all things. All right, he shall be the head and we shall be the tail. He shall lend to thee, but thou shalt not lend to him, right? Moreover, the dogs came and licked his swords. Swords, meaning these other nations, you know, they helped forward the affliction, man. They all looked down upon us. They all kept us from being a nation. That the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. All right, they all at some point put us into captivity, and and they served themselves of us. So they helped lick the sores, man. It says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments. Why? This is symbolic, man. This is a parable. Christians take this literal to describe hell. And you even got Israelites that buy into that false doctrine. No, this is all metaphoric, man. It's a parable. He's trying to convey a message. But this isn't literal. All right? It says in hell he lifted up his eyes. If he's in hell and it's supposed to be burning, what eyes is he seeing out of? Because everything is supposed to be hot there. His eye, he shouldn't even have eyeballs. That should be melted. So obviously this is all parabolic, man. It says, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments. All right. And seeth Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. Meaning he's in straits. He's in misery because he's in a low position. He's in hell. All right. And he sees Jake, the people that he looked down upon and mistreated. all right, and did all type of hateful acts against us, he gonna see us, we chilling. He gonna see that we've traded places, all right, and he can't come over to, you know, where we are. Okay, it's gonna be a separation. It says, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue. You know, which we know that if there was a literal place called hell where you're burning, there's no way that a drip of water is going to fall anywhere. So obviously what this is saying is, you know, have him, you know, ease my misery, my pain, since he's in comfort right now. For I am tormented in his flame. Yeah, you getting your back whipped in. You out in that hot ass sun and your skin is peeling. But Abraham said, son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest good things. Go read Psalm 73. And likewise, Lazarus, evil things. But now he is comforted and thou art tormented. All right. So now we're we're getting blessed, are being comforted, receiving our consolation, which is the kingdom of heaven. And now you're in straits. Now you're under the curse. All right. And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they would pass from thence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. All right. And that's what it's going to be. All right. We're going to be the head and you're going to remain the tail, and it's never going to change. All right. And I'm pretty sure, you know, because we're going to be royal and holy and pure, we ain't going to even want to, you know, be within arm's reach of you. You're going to be way out there in them fields. All right. It's going to be certain. We're going to give y'all boundaries that you can't pass. Just like people like us, we be considered peasants to the queen and the prince or whatever. We can't even come within arm's reach. Well, in our kingdom, you won't be able to get that close to us either. So yeah, man. So this is what she's going to experience when she comes back. So right now, she's just resting. Talking about Queen Elizabeth. All right. And the prince too, him too. David Rockefeller, all them devils, that's in the spiritual realm. So yeah, man. And if you are Jake, you better not be sighing, man. All right. If you sigh about this shit, man, then you might want to check your lineage. You might be a terror, man. All right, the hell with her. She lived her full life, all right, in wickedness. And it seemed like, you know, they prolonged their life. The ungodly, like it says in Jeremiah complained about the prosperity of the wicked and how they life are prolonged. Was that Jeremiah 12? Let me see. Jeremiah 12:1, it says, righteous art thou, O Yahweh, when I plead with thee, yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Wherefore doeth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are all they happy that do it very treacherously? Thou hast planted them, yeah, they have taken root, they grow, yeah, they bring forth fruit. They are near in their mouth, and far from their reins. But thou, O Yahweh, knowest me. Thou hast seen me, and tried mine heart toward thee. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter, and prepare them for the day of slaughter. And that's what Esau's reserved for. He's reserved for the day of judgment to be slaughtered. All right, it's going to be a great slaughter in Idumea. All right, but I think it was another scripture that I was thinking about, where it talks about how the wicked prolong their life. You know, it might actually be in Psalms, the 73rd chapter. All right, but you know, I'm gonna try to cut it short. Y'all can find the scripture. Maybe one of y'all find it. You can put it in the comment section. But you know, I just want to have a few words on this, you know, while I'm on my lunch break. But yeah, man, we'll see her in captivity, man. So with that, we're gonna give all praise, glory, and honor. I'm gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. To the next lesson, Shalom.